Okay, I want to thank everyone for coming out here tonight. I appreciate your attention and everything that you're going to give me during this little presentation. Tonight I want to speak about something that's kind of important to me and also to the work that I do on the civilian side, which is a law enforcement officer. So how many people in here have a car or an automobile? You don't have to raise your hands, or you don't have to show any hands or anything of that nature. But there's quite a few of us who drive vehicles, right? Some of us even have 2 vehicles, maybe even 3 vehicles. But needless to say, we drive vehicles. Now, a vehicle is a very important tool we use to get from point A to point B. We use it for work. We use it for family vacations, all those necessary things, and also those fun things which we like to do. But the #1 risk factor when you're driving a vehicle is accidents, right? Everyone at one point or another in their life is usually involved in some type of accident, whether it's minor or whether it's major. Now I want to tell you a little story about when I was a teenager, about 16 years old. I had a car given to me, basically. It was a little white Ford Lynx, I believe it was called, just a 2-door car. It's given to me by my grandpa. So I had that car. I just got done with basketball practice, and we were going to go back to the school and watch a girls' basketball game. So I loaded up my sister and her friend. And we got in the car. We started driving down the highway. It's a rural town in Idaho. Speed limit probably 50 miles an hour. There was a truck in front of me, like a utility truck. So I saw the truck. I didn't see any brake lights. It was nighttime, and he was just slowing down. So I'm like, what is he doing? Anyway, I went to the other lane to pass him. It's just a 2-lane road. And as I passed him, that truck wanted to make a left-hand turn onto another road. So that truck clipped my rear bumper and made my car slide like this. And once the tires caught, the car started to roll in the air with 3 of us inside of it. Well, we landed upside down and freaking out. But the one thing that saved us that night was we were all wearing seatbelts. Okay? I had a seatbelt on, my sister had a seatbelt on, and her friend had a seatbelt on. Had we not had a seatbelt on, things might have turned out not like they had. We probably could have sustained some serious injuries rather than just some minor bumps and bruises. So the point of this story is that seatbelts do save lives. Now, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, there's about 40,000 fatality accidents in the United States per year. 40,000. That's quite a lot. If you think that on a daily basis and break it down into seconds, that's 1 fatality every 12 to 14 seconds in the United States. Now, the National Safety Council put out an article in 2013 about how to reduce those fatalities. And as you can guess, the argument was about seatbelts. Okay? In there they state that seatbelts can reduce someone's injuries or death up to 42%. Now for me, that's a pretty big jump in affecting your risk, right? So without that, then you have a 42% less chance of not surviving or sustaining a major injury. With the seatbelt, accompanied with airbags and some of the technologies in the cars today, you have a better chance of surviving these accidents. Now, with more and more people driving on the road these days, it's a numbers game. Your chances of getting in a car accident increase. So, to reduce those chances and that risk, wear a seatbelt. Now, there's proper ways to wear a seatbelt. There's a couple different kinds of seatbelts. You got the lap belt, which is typically used for passengers in the rear part of the vehicle. Or you got the lap and the shoulder belt. The point is you want to wear those seatbelts properly, because the proper way is going to help save you when and if that time comes that you're involved in a serious traffic accident. Now, being in law enforcement, I see traffic accidents every day, pretty much on a daily basis, from A to Z as far as when it comes to injuries or death. You see the minor ones, which happen maybe in parking lots or out on the road, to the major ones where people become ejected from their vehicle or they're pinned inside their vehicle and they just don't survive because of the speed of the impact and things of that nature. Now, a lot of these things can be avoided by the use of a seatbelt. I hate to put a number or a statistic based off of my personal experience in law enforcement, but I would say roughly 50% of the accidents that I see and that I'm involved in, people are not wearing their seatbelts. I was on, actually over the 4th of July weekend, which was a couple weeks ago here in the state of Utah. They had 5 fatalities on the Utah roads in just one day. One was out on I-80 and the other one was down south of Salt Lake City. So 2 accidents, 5 people died. You want to know why they died? Yeah. Well, according to the Utah Highway Patrol, they're saying the major reason which they were deceased is because they were not wearing their seatbelts. And unfortunately, 2 of these individuals were children. 2 of these individuals were children who lost their lives because they weren't wearing a seatbelt. So if there's one thing that I can express to you tonight, is that seatbelts are important. And to wear a seatbelt, it only takes a couple extra seconds when you get in that vehicle to reach across your shoulder, put it over, and click it in there. Okay? And that can help reduce your risk of injury or even death if and when you are involved in a traffic accident. So I encourage you, as you leave tonight or as you head to your places of destination, to use your seatbelt. And I encourage you always, whenever you get behind the wheel of a vehicle, to wear your seatbelt. A simple thing, a simple act can save you or even the other individuals who you might be transporting in that vehicle. Any questions? Thank you, and I appreciate your time this evening.
You're welcome.